And hello, boys and girls. This is your old pal, Uncle Al, aka Diebulfrog79. Hello and welcome. Today, John did a, let's see, what was it? S.T.F. Prepper Survival. Serious question tag, 6 serious questions. Okay, now, this has been pretty popular. Checking on Yankee Outdoors and Hiking Deep. What um, SHTF scenario do you fear the most? Biological. A lot of people forget the Spanish flu and the Black Plague. Those were the two biggest killers in history of mankind. There's a few other things, but they're minor. See, Uncle Alan had a hobby. I like to read history, a lot of history. Unlike Inspired John, I do have a list of preppers and channels I watch. They're all preppers or survivalists or back homesteaders. uh, they had a long series of questions. What's SHTF scenario do you fear the most? And there's the basics. It could be natural disaster, nuclear war, uprising, social unrest, economic collapse. Other than that, well, Uncle Alan lived through 6 STSHFs, and I'm used to it, so it doesn't bother me. Remember, your future, my past. I already did some of them, so I don't have to worry about it. What else they're going to throw at me to kill me? And that leaves biological and nuclear disaster, which I got pretty close. I've been through a lot of natural disasters. I've been in a lot of political strife, a couple of guerrilla warfares, and economic failures. So right now, a lot of you haven't got the good idea or the experience like Uncle Al, or lived out of the States. Most of you haven't lived about 50 miles away from your homestead. Now, some of you traveled and some of you moved, and that's good. But what FTH scenarios, hike and deep, that are really good, and that'd be biological and chemical. Biological is the most feared. And yes, Uncle Alan used to work for the three-letter guys, and also Uncle Alan used to work in the military, so he all knows all this good stuff. And yes, the U.S. government since 1960 something had a biological epidemic solution, and it's true. What Hike and Deep said was true. If your area is really badly affected with a biological or chemical outbreak, they will nuke your ass silly with a tactical nuke. Understand that. It's been in the movies, it's been in the literature. If you're that seriously, because the Russians had some weird stuff they were doing, bad thing is, a lot of their experiments kicked back to them. And I think the Great Britain, UK, United Kingdom was screwing around when Australia is still part of the UK, and certain parts of Australia is already infected. Now, a lot of places, for a while, we used to do it, but we stopped it. We had 2 biological incidents. Uncle Alan's been through a lot of broken arrows, and if you're in the Navy or the Air Force and the Army, you know what a broken arrow means. I was there in Arkansas when the Titan II missile went. That was a stinking cleanup. No radiation, thank God, but it lifted the concrete cap off of a Titan II base, killed everybody in the tube and the command center, and left a devastating chemical mess for about 30 miles. Well, the Democrats and Clintons came out there, and I get to meet the future president and the first lady, which wasn't a big thrill because I was in a chemical suit, sweating to death, and they were like in air-conditioned cars. Oh, this is how our soldiers taking care of the, the disaster. Well, Uncle Alan isn't too happy, and this is a serious question, so it's going to be a long video. So Uncle Alan's been through that whole pony show. And seriously, if we do have a serious biological or chemical outbreak, remember the old movie, I forget. Uh, it's a classic old movie. I can't remember it. But it had these people back in the 70s. They had some kind of weird space bug came on a spacecraft, and it was called Project Wildfire. In reality, oh, Andromeda Strain. That was it. Uncle Alan's brain is kind of rotting away, and Andromeda Strain. And they're going to nuke the place. In real life, yes, they have small tactical nukes, and they are 2 units in the federal government will take care of the problem once and for all. So let's say you live in a small city or a big city. They will quarantine the area and nuke your ass. And anybody in the perimeter area is going to get shot. And they say, oh, don't shoot us. You're going to get machine gun. Think of Auschwitz. Think of FEMA camps. If you're infected or they think you're infected, and then nuke the place down. I mean, seriously, they won't hit the place once. They'll hit it a couple of times. And it's not going to be a ground pounder. It's going to be an airburst saturation zone. Okay, remember in the old 80s days, everybody was freaking out, neutron bomb, neutron bomb. Well, it's a tactical neutron bomb that fries everything with hard radiation. Uncle Alan knows this because he used to work for the three-letter guys. Okay, it'd be biological. Everything else I can handle myself, from nuclear to natural disaster, economic collapse. Not a problem. Or you got some weird uprising, either political or religious. Uncle, take care of it because Uncle's been through it already. And two, those are man-made or people-made. The only problems I have is natural disasters. Uncle Alan can't fight a volcano or a flood or hurricane or tornado. I'm too old. They're too big. In FTF situation, we suffered a total economic collapse. The dollar loses value. I already did this in a foreign country. Um, well, basically, it'd be food and salt. I'll probably stockpile regular cash. It takes a little while. Tools and ammo. And those would be my top three, food and salt. You need salt, trust me. I made pretty good money in the countries their money became totally useless. Everybody needs salt. If you live, excuse me, if you live farther than 60 miles away from the coast, you want salt. Trust me. You know, I had a really good, nice time in one of the little countries I've been in because they didn't have salt. Salt is life. Yes, preserving foods, curing foods for seasoning, but mostly for preserving food. And I made a lot of money and I got a few other benefits out of it. Next is probably food, like this, dried food. Uncle Alan knows what he's doing. And those are my first options. Second option is cash and valuables. Now, Uncle Alan did all the gold and silver and jewelry stuff. Got to know what you're doing on jewelry. Skip diamonds. Diamonds are a joke. Precious gems, you got to know what you're doing. And jewelry, it's hard to say because we got fake stones, but diamonds and jewelry, if you know what you're doing, it's a good favorite. But, okay, not at the common level. Common level, they're going to be still using cash, gold and silver. Gold and silver can be chopped up to little pieces. Now, a lot of you kids don't remember the Vietnam War, or you don't remember the recent troubles in the Middle East, or hundreds of little brush wars. Uncle Alan's did most of it, and Harry knows what he's doing. Gold and silver, okay? Right now, silver's getting flooded out again, but silver's a precious commodity. It's called the poor man's gold. So I tuck away a few boxes here and there. I don't go hog wild and like, yeah. No, I tuck a little bit here and there. And a lot of people are like, yeah, I got these big coins. Wrong. Okay. If you're doing silver, you want to do what they have it nowadays. You got the dollar size, you got the quarter size, and you got the dime size. You know why um, the guy who got shot, they did a musical on him. Can't think of his name. You know who I'm talking about, kids. This is what happens when you have brain lesions. Okay. Did a whole musical on Broadway about him, Hamilton. That's why Hamilton did it, because you have a dollar size silver coin, or you have a quarter size silver piece, or you have a dime size silver piece. So you go down and can easily trade it. That's how Uncle Alan does his silver. He has a bar. Next thing is he has a uh, dollar size. Next size would be a quarter size, and next size would be dime size. A lot of people don't understand that. Gold, same way as you progress. And a lot of people still don't understand that. So we don't fool around with gold and silver, boys and girls, unless you know what you're doing, and you only keep enough to cover what's 2 years' expenses. 2 years. Because A, it's heavy as hell. B, this is a big reason, nobody really understands how to use it anymore. And C, why I like it is it doesn't deteriorate. Uncle Alan had cash, and after a certain event, my cash was like crumble, crumble. Okay, biggest thing is tools and ammo. John's going to put a lot of faith in 22. That's one of my topics. I got 9 mil, 410, and 22. But also Uncle Alan, if necessary, and things gets a little hinky, I have connections. And my connections are pretty good, so I can get a rigged out Mini 14 with adapters. A lot of people don't understand it. Well, you got a Mini 14 and a bunch of 22s. What are you going to do? I'm going to get removed and replace a few things, and I'll be shooting 22 or 22 Magnum towards your head. Remember, the old 180 series are chambered in the old style 223. And that shoots 22 Magnum or 22 long rifle or 22 short. And I have adapters for them. So if I want to switch back a few simple parts, and I'm shooting 223 again at you. See what you learned from Uncle Al? Okay. In an FTF situation, your mindset is to dig in or bug out. Bug in if it's a lightweight disaster. Retreat if it's a heavyweight disaster. And Uncle Han already did that 6 times. The last time was 2 heavy ones, and unfortunately I was already moved into my retreat. And bad thing was, it leveled the place. Uncle Alan still suffered the effects of it and gave me a stroke, a couple of them. But I lost everything. Okay. Remember, bug in if it's light, bug out to my retreat if it's heavy. In an FTF situation, what environment would you prefer and why? Everybody picked 2 choices, wilderness or urban. They suck, both of them. I've been in a wilderness for 10 years. I don't like it. Been in an urban area for 10 years. I still don't like it. My answer, rural. I prefer a farming community. Got everything I need. I know the people. It's small enough so I don't got too much trouble. This isn't like a big city where you have crime everywhere. Small rural cities and towns, perfect. They have an airport. They have all the goods and services I need. And if a FTS situation gets that drastic, I can go over the area by my skills, one of my skills, and I'll solve the problem. Sorry, this is going to be a long one. That's my answer, rural. More like a farming community, I'll take care of things. If you ever watched I think they had a TV show on CBS. Uh, wasn't Last of Babylon. It was one of those disaster movies, disaster shows. TV. It wasn't Under the Dome. It's something else. It was before that. Um, it's about a little Midwestern town, how these faced the political uprising and limited nuclear war, and they did pretty good. Why? Because they stood together as a small town. And somebody will remember it. I think John always talks about, so does West Wing Survival. A lot other uh, people does. Uncle Alan has bad memories. So, like I said, um, small communities will survive. You're big out lone wolf or out in the farm people, you're going to have trouble. So that'll be rural area for Uncle Al. What are your three strongest skills that you can bring to the table in FTS? I'm a farmer, cooker, food preparer. So unless you know how to grow food, cook the food, and store the food, you better want me. Okay? Number two, teacher and thinker, my brains. Uncle Alan has a lot of wisdom. Most of you guys like, I got a smartphone. I'm on the web. And I'm a dumb shit. I went to Harvard for 8 years and I do underwater basket weaving. Uncle Alan has experience and Uncle Alan knows what he's doing. And my third strongest skill, I have to be a librarian and do maintenance work because none of you don't know how to fix things. And I'll tag 3 YouTubers. Sorry, this is long. Under 1,000 supporters. And I picked the very bottom of the barrel YouTubers in our field. That's survival, prepping, homesteading, and all that. I picked number one, Chandra the Strange. Chandra the Strange is number one. She has about 59 supporters, the least of our group. Steve Foco, I like Steve. He's a good Tennessean boy. Second on my list. Nice family man, the whole works. But like I said, that's the under 1,000 supporters YouTuber for this tag. And then finally, Dad on YouTube. Okay, Dad on YouTube. He's a martial artist. I like his channel. They all three have weaknesses you would not believe. A lot of you guys have a lot of weaknesses. Uncle Alan's retired. He's in a nice, comfortable home. But if things happen, I'm the worst thing you can imagine because I already did an episode and John in his 6-question thing also did it. I'm the worst type of person you want to meet. Think of Negan on Walking Dead. Think of everybody else on Fear the Walking Dead. All those disaster shows, you have an evil, scheming, you know what in the background. That's Uncle Al. I might be polite. I might teach Sunday school. Retiring from teaching Sunday school just got too big for me. This Sunday's my last one. I'm going to have 120 kids. And then Donnie's going to take, that's my apprentice in Sunday school. He's going to take over and start teaching because it's a little too much for me nowadays, and 120 kids is my limit. So this is my last Sunday school, and a lot of the kids are mad as hell. You know, that's all you need, a small religious rebellion of small children holding crosses like, we want Uncle Al back. But I'm tired of getting old, folks. And those are the 3 YouTubers I picked for the tag under 1,000 supporters. And also they're kind of green behind the gills. So I'm going to do some few other things. And people were asking me about adapters and about 22s and why 22s, 410, and 9mm in my email. And Uncle Alan's getting old. I have glaucoma in one eye. I have brain lesions on, I can't remember which side of the face. Half my face is paralyzed and I pee in a bag. So Uncle Alan's getting real old and tired. Like John said, I have health issues. Okay, folks, sorry about the 20 minutes. That's all I have to say, boys and girls. Like and subscribe to Old Uncle Al, aka Diebulfrog79. And if you ever watch my old videos, a lot of it has secret messages, and a lot of it has, well, let's say I like to screw with people's brains. Because I got a nasty email from YouTube, and they finally noticed what I've been doing. Yes, it does get you high when you watch a lot of my videos. It just, like John says, explode after 3 videos. Your head's like. So you take a good look at John, and then he's like, oh yeah, I watched 4 videos, and I feel like John inspired John. My head's like, okay. And a lot of people, they still can't figure out the hidden messages or what I'm doing to their little brains. Okay, folks, I'll catch you later.